Hello everyone, welcome to my channel and welcome to today's video, which is going to be my September TBR, as well as announcing round 2 of the Upside Down Readathon, which I am so excited for. Let's just start with that. If you were around on BookTube last year, you might remember last September, I was a co-host for the Upside Down Readathon, which is a Stranger Things themed readathon. Last year, it was in honor of season 4 being released. This year, if you are like me, patiently or not so patiently waiting for any news about season 5, then this readathon is for you because we are going to be celebrating our love for the show Stranger Things and speculating and dying for the next and I think last season to come out. This round of the readathon is going to be hosted by myself, as well as Kendall from Bookphoria, Olivia from Liv's Library, and Naomi from Naomi's Library. We are so excited to bring this readathon back again, enjoy our love for this show, and bring back the nostalgic vibes that that show creates. So let's talk about the details of that readathon. It's going to be happening from September 18th through the 24th, and there are 5 reading prompts. They are set up exactly like last year, where we have 1 reading prompt per season that's been released, and then the 5th reading prompt is a buddy read. So prompts, as I tell you what each of them are, I will also talk about what I'll be reading, and we will be sharing information about this readathon on Instagram, as well as a TBR template, so you can let me know what you will be reading as well. So prompt number 1 is based off of season 1 and the iconic Eggo waffles, and the prompt is to read a book that has food on the cover. So for that, I will be picking up my favorite Half Night Stand by Christina Lauren. This appears to be kind of a summery book, but it's on my physical TBR, so I want to knock it out. It's got a watermelon and a popsicle on the front, so definitely fits the prompt. Prompt number 2 is based on season 2, specifically the episode of Trick or Treat Freak when they go trick-or-treating together, and it's to read a book that takes place during the fall or on Halloween. I don't have any books that fit this perfectly, so please let me know if you have any recommendations for actual Halloween books. So I'm going to be stretching it a little bit, and I'm going to pick up Something Wild and Wonderful by Anita Kelly. Again, another kind of summery romance, but at least a portion of this book does take place in September, which I'm considering fall, so it works, but I would love some more recommendations. Prompt number 3 is based on season 3 and specifically the Battle of Starcourt Mall. The prompt is to read a book with nostalgic vibes. This can be totally up for interpretation, whether it's reading a book that you loved when you were younger, or maybe a book with a cover that really gives off 80s vibes or some other time that makes you nostalgic. Whatever works for you. I am deciding to pick up Days at the Murasaki Bookshop by Satoshi Yagasawa. This makes me nostalgic for a couple things. One is traveling. I picked this up while on a work trip to Berlin, and I wish I could go back. Also, Days at a Bookshop. That is total nostalgic vibes. My favorite place to be. Some of my favorite memories take place in bookshops and libraries. The 4th prompt is related to season 4 in Vecna and the Creel House. So it's read a book with a haunted house. Again, pretty vague. It can be a haunted house on the cover, or a house that looks haunted, or a book that specifically has some kind of haunting element in it. I'm gonna pick up Keep It in the Family by John Mars, which I think is a domestic thriller about a couple who buys a house that they think is haunted. Last but not least, prompt number 5 for this readathon is my favorite prompt. This is to read a host's buddy read book based on your favorite character, or your favorite character of the options. Each one of us co-hosts picked one of our favorite characters and then chose a buddy read book based on that character. We also did this last year, and there were 6 of us co-hosts at that time. We decided to not pick any of the characters that were chosen that last round so that we could give some new characters some love, and I'm so excited. This year I have chosen Robin as my favorite character. I love Robin and her personality and what she stands for, and for her buddy read I had to pick a sapphic romance rom-com young adult book, and I chose Forward March by Skye Quinlan. And get this, this is about 2 girls in high school who fall in love in the marching band, which is also what happens to Robin's character in the show. So I felt like it was absolutely perfect. I cannot wait to read this book. I ordered my copy on Pango Books and it's on its way to me right now. I believe the audiobook is also available on Hoopla and Scribd, so you should be able to get your hands on it if you want to. Please let me know if you will read this book with me during this readathon. I think it's gonna be adorable. If you wanna know what buddy read books Naomi, Liv, and Kendall chose for their favorite characters, be sure to watch their TBR videos and keep an eye out on Instagram because that's where they will be announcing theirs. So that readathon is going to be so much fun. I don't know how I'm gonna wait until the end of September, but I do have a lot of other reading plans in September. So let's talk about the rest of my TBR. One other video slash project that I will be tackling in September is reading all of my October arcs that I have through NetGalley, and for some reason I have so many of them. I'm not sure how so many books are coming out in October that I'm interested in, but I have 7 that I still need to read, and I want to get them read in September before they release in October so that I can get reviews out and do what I'm supposed to do as a reviewer. So let's talk about them. I don't know the details about a lot of them because I obviously haven't read them yet, and they're not released yet, so I haven't really heard people talking about them, but be sure to keep an eye out for that video when it comes out because I will go way more in depth into each of these books and who I would recommend them to. The first one I'll be reading is Hookshot by Kennedy Ryan, which has actually already been released. It's the 3rd book in her Hoops series. I have read the first 2 books already. Like I said, the 3rd one has already been released, but the whole series is getting a new cover redesign, which is beautiful. So they are re-releasing arcs of those books, and so I got my hands on the 3rd one, and I'm so excited to read that one and complete the trilogy. The next arc that I will be reading is Out There Screaming, which is an anthology of new Black horror, edited by Jordyn and including stories from a whole bunch of amazing authors that I have either read myself or heard really great things about. Cannot wait to read that one. Next on my list is Midnight is the Darkest Hour by Ashley Winstead. I have read 3 of Ashley Winstead's previous books and really enjoyed them, so excited for her newest, I think, thriller type book. Then we have Dragged to the Wedding by Andrew Gray, which is described as a laugh out loud gay romantic comedy, which sounds like everything I need in my life. Lives in Chicago, but has to go to a wedding in Missoula, Montana, which is almost my neck of the woods, so that's kind of fun. Then we have Beholder by Ryan LaSala, which I believe is a young adult horror book. I've read The Honeys by this author and I did like it, so I'm interested to see what else this author has up their sleeve. Second to last for this video, I have Stars in Your Eyes by Kaysen Callender. Again, another author that I've read before and enjoyed. Do you see a theme here? This appears to also be a queer young adult contemporary book. And then the last arc that I have been approved for so far that comes out in October is The Space Between Here and Now by Sarah Suk. I have not read from this author before, and I believe this is a young adult book with a little bit of a sci-fi element. So I am getting a little bit of everything in that video, which I'm excited for. Between that video and the Upside Down Readathon, I'm definitely going to be busy next month, so I don't have anything else super firm planned as far as reading vlogs go. The only other books that I know I will be including are singular books for book clubs, specifically in-person book clubs that I will be involved in. The first one I'm so excited about. I convinced my in-person book club to pick up probably my favorite book. I struggle a little bit to say that, but The Measure by Nikki Erlich. I read this book last year, fell head over heels in love with it, and I'm excited to reread it and potentially annotate it because we will be discussing it in that book club, and because I specifically recommended it and hyped it up so much, I want to make sure I revisit it so my thoughts are fresh and clear, but so excited to read this book again. Similarly, I will be hosting a meeting for a new in-person book club. I don't know when I got so social, but again, I picked a book that I have already read and loved to be the book discussion so that I know what I'm getting into, and again, I plan to read it and potentially annotate it, so it's fresh in my mind. But it's Before I Let Go by Kennedy Ryan, one of my all-time favorite contemporary romance books, super hard-hitting and emotional, and I think will make for a very good book club discussion. And then thirdly, for an in-person book club, I will be reading Dead Silence by S.A. Barnes, which I believe is like a sci-fi thriller set underwater. I heard really good things about this book when it was initially released. I'm not sure why I never got around to picking it up, but I'm glad that I'm going to now. It seems within my wheelhouse and like something I'll enjoy. So I hope that that's the case, and I'm looking forward to reading and discussing it. So I think that is all that I have for my September TBR. If I get through all of those books, then I may throw in another somewhat impromptu reading vlog, but I am very excited for what I have in store. Please let me know if you have read any of the books that I talked about, what your thoughts were. Let me know what's on your TBR for September. And thirdly, let me know if you'll be participating in the Upside Down Readathon. If so, and if you're still watching at this point in the video, please leave the waffle emoji in the comments so that I know you're excited. Other than that, I don't think I have anything else. So thank you so much for watching this video, and I will see you in my next one.